have no fear. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is here. Biggity boom, have no fear. The I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast is in the place to be. Welcome to the Iron Dome of Disruption. Welcome to the Ziggity Zone of Disruption. The name is Michael Rapaport, a.k.a. the Inflamed Ashkenazi, a.k.a. the Sultan of Sniff, a.k.a. the Gringo Mandingo. We wanted to bring some joy to the world. We wanted to bring some positivity to the podcast. There's no better way to do that. He's been doing it time after time after time. You know where I'm going. He's back. Dino Pacino, Dino Casino, Deuce Cuddles, a.k.a. the young shooter, Dean Cuddles, is with me on the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. Boom.
Thank you, man. Quite the intro there. I love the Joy to the World. When you said that, I was like, can we play the Joy to the World song? Like, joy to the, it made me feel so warm inside.
We could sing it. Jiggity joy to
the world.
Jiggity joy.
I'm back on the pod. It feels good, man. We're both rocking. You got your New York hat. I got my LA hat.
You got your LA hat. I got my New York hat. I got my Invisaligns in.
Yep. See? Are those puppies straighter since the last time I saw you?
Nope. My teeth aren't any straighter yet. It's only been a couple of weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks since I've had these puppies in, but the Invisaligns are in there. I'm speaking well, and we're happy to have you back on the podcast. It's been a crazy 2 weeks since you are away from us. We know that you have explored a bunch of things, and we're going to get to that. We're also going to get to a lot about me, because it's not the Dino Pacino.
100%. This is your podcast. It's not like you're interviewing Sylvester Stallone. And so we've talked about, and not that I even look at myself that way, but you're absolutely right. So, I would love to do kind of like we don't have to do this podcast, but just sort of like a James Lipton style interview with you and your career. I'm happy to do that too.
Great. And we want to keep it really positive for this podcast. It's been a crazy time, and I'm bringing the positivity. And, that's why we have you.
Because I want to keep it positive also. I'm feeling really positive today, and I could see it in your eyes that you're positive, but you're not always positive.
See, that's the kind of thing when I'm bringing positive and you're bringing that negative, I won't tolerate it. Even though I'm bringing positivity, like slap me once, shame on me, slap me across my face again, I'm not going to be positive anymore, asshole. That's pretty much my saying. I just made that up, but it's like, you're not going to fuck me once and then go, oh,
I'm not going to fuck you at all. I'm not going to fuck you at all is what I'm not going to do. But doesn't a positive and a negative make a positive?
Negative make a, I don't know that.
Maybe that's...
No, maybe you just continue to be positive when I say I'm going to be positive. You don't antagonize. You don't poke the bear. You don't throw things in the monkey cage. It says the sign says, don't throw anything into the monkey cage. So what you're doing is you're throwing things into the monkey cage, and you're not respecting the sign. The sign says, do not throw anything into the lion cage.
Yeah, are you the monkey in this situation, or am I the monkey?
I'm the monkey, and I'm the lion. I'm all of it. If you throw things into the monkey cage, if you throw things into the lion cage, you might incite something from that animal. So what you're doing is you're like, I don't know what you're tossing in there. What are you tossing in there, Dean?
I don't want to ruffle the feathers. I don't want to fuck up the monkey cage or whatever the fuck all these things that you're talking about. Let's just keep it positive. We're both feeling great.
Okay, let's keep it positive. But I'm listening, and even though sometimes it seems like I'm not listening, I am listening, downloading, processing it all at rapid speed. So if you come at me with any shit, I'm going to come back with more shit. If you throw shit, I throw bigger balls of shit.
I don't want any problems.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm good. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving and keep it positive and optimistic today.
And you got your batteries? Because I don't want to go into what happened in the last podcast, but let's fill the people in, because there was so much behind the scenes drama with the last episode that you were on, and it turned out to be a great episode, but you didn't have batteries in your recorder, and people from all over the world, they always say to me, Mike Rapp, I want to start a podcast. Do you have any advice? Mike Rapp, if I'm starting a podcast, do you have any advice? And I go, rule number 1, 2, and 3 is you need to press record. You need to have everything recorded. If you don't have anything recorded, it doesn't matter what you're saying. It doesn't matter how funny you are, how smart, how insightful you may be. And on the last episode of the I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast, we were blessed with the presence of Dino Pacino. You
Really?
didn't have.
Yeah, I didn't have batteries. And I'm the first to admit it. I fucked up, but you know what? I went to CVS this morning and those fuckers are on a lock. Yeah, I got to ring the customer service button. They're walking through. I got the big pack. So we're in business. You got nothing to worry about. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, great. Because what we went through last time put the Dust Brothers through a lot. It put yourself through the anxiety.
And I like to apologize. I'll take the time to apologize to the Dust Brothers, to you. I know you have, your valuable time. I don't want to waste that. And it was something that was going on through my head the next few days after that. It really fucked my head up, and I'm glad that we just got to move past it. But somehow we're rehashing it. Yeah, Michael.
The question is, how many batteries did you buy? Because there's the 4-pack, there's the 12-pack, and I
24-pack, baby. Don't want any issues moving forward for the future of podcasting. I want to be set. I want to just go, oh fuck, I'm running low here. Let me go to the cabinet. I know I have it.
All right. That being said, before we get to my thoughts, your thoughts on the Charlie Sheen documentary, aka Charlie Sheen, which is incredible, I wanted to ask you your review. You were so excited last time you were on the podcast. You were going to the Oasis concert. I told you I did not know much about Oasis. I knew their legacy. I knew they didn't get along. You were pumped. How was the Oasis concert? What is your review of finally seeing them after all the drama, all the canceled shows, and all the bad blood for all these years?
They killed it. And if people listening if there's some like huge Oasis fans, I highly recommend watching the documentary about the two brothers and their rise to fame and their beef and all this shit called Supersonic, which is excellent. A great doc. But I feel like you would fuck with Liam, especially. I mean, have you seen clips of him? Like he's fucking nuts. Clips.
I'm going to check out the doc. Where can you watch the doc?
I don't know where you can watch the doc. I have no idea, but just
it's
rent
a proper documentary though. It's about like their friction and stuff.
Yeah, in theaters. It was in theaters, but if you're remotely a fan, it's great. So I highly recommend that.
Yeah, I mean, I love music docs about even groups that I don't even is I mean, like I'm not a Metallica fan, I'm not a Metallica hater, but that documentary about Metallica is excellent. The other doc, oh man, what's the name of that group? We were watching it all the time when we were doing the Tribe Called Question, where you saw in black and white.
The fucking Chili Peppers doc?
That's excellent too.
The Funky Monks black and white one, but I'm trying to think of what you're talking about.
No, it's man, my mom loves this group. Whatever. I mean, like I love even the Taylor Swift documentary. Like I was like, I love the process of watching artists. Even we talked about the Billy Joel documentary, how dope that was. Mm-hmm. I'm not like a Billy Joel head.
Same with me. No, I'm agreeing with you. That was funny because we both are not big Billy Joel fans, but the power of documentary filmmaking, right? Because I don't know why you paused when I said same with me, because we both shared that.
And you said same with me.
I was agreeing because I totally agree, but continue the.
But when I'm talking and
that's
you
my
go
bad.
Same with me, it kind of just throws me off there. And
I'm sorry about that.
Are you?
No, I'll just shut up.
I just want to do a nice.
You have the floor.
No, he keeps interrupting me. Is what it is. I keep getting interrupted.
I won't do that again. I'll let you have the floor, and then you can point at me whenever I should come in if you want to do that, or I'll just let you finish the thought. But I was. Go ahead.
You were what?
No.
You were what?
I can't remember.
Anyway, which brings us to, we're talking about documentaries. The Charlie Sheen documentary, aka Charlie Sheen on Netflix, is 2 winning thumbs up.
Yeah, I
It's
like that.
excellent. I can't recommend it any higher or give it more praise. It's well done. It's honest. It's scary. It's entertaining. It's heartbreaking. It's insightful. It's an excellent 3-hour documentary. It's 2 parts. It's an hour and a half each. And I don't think people really truly understand unless you've made a documentary. This is one of these cases where unless you've made a documentary, people don't really get how challenging they can be on all aspects, whether it's the subject, whether it's getting along with your subject, whether it's archival footage, the editing process, the storytelling, all of it. And this documentary, I'm sure there's an hour of stories and footage that they cut out at least from him, because Charlie Sheen, somehow, some way, I mean, one of the most impressive things about this documentary is that he's still standing. I mean, the fucking guy's alive. He's truly a miracle that when he talks about all the things he was doing with the drugs and the sex and the HIV and the drugs and the drugs and the drugs and the drugs and the drugs, that he's able to even articulate and remember in such great detail his life, because the guy has been through the ringer. Did you watch the 2 episodes, Dino Pacino?
I mean, I didn't watch them back to back, but I saw part 1 and immediately was like, this is fucking amazing. I mean, I'm assuming that a lot of the people listening by now have seen the doc, so hopefully, we'll dive into it and they know what we're talking about. But like immediately, the plane story of him with the captain and taking a photo and can I sit in your seat, and now he's flying the fucking plane wasted with 400 people sleeping behind him, and he's maneuvering it, and then they're not on autopilot. I mean, it's like, this shit is crazy, but I thought that was a perfect way to set up the rest of the documentary. And I mean, just an insane fucking life. And I mean, it gives you anxiety watching it. And it's just
Totally.
Like,
Totally. And the plane story is awesome. And we are giving spoiler alerts, but nothing we can do will be as entertaining and as enthralling and as charismatic as Charlie Sheen telling his own story. So we could give you spoiler alert after spoiler alert. We're not going to be able to ruin it, because Charlie Sheen, again, despite everything that he's been through, is still incredibly charismatic and sharp. And I don't know how he doesn't have wet brain. I mean, I don't know how he's not completely deteriorated. He still looks good.
he looks great.
And he sounds good. And I mean, you're right. He tells a story about being on a passenger plane. Obviously, he's sitting in first class. I believe he was flying to France or Japan, and he was out of his mind. And the pilot asked him to come into the cockpit. And, one thing leads to another. Then at one point, he's literally flying the plane, and he's drunk out of his mind. And the first person you see, which is unusual in a documentary about somebody else, is where you hear from another person. And this documentary has so many great people. Sean Penn. And when Sean Penn is talking about you like you're out of your mind, you're way out of your mind. Because
Yeah.
Sean Penn, love him or hate him, has been through it. Sean Penn has seen it all. He's been through it all. He's tried, true, and proven. But when Sean Penn is sort of bowing down like, yo, this guy's way far out. When Nicolas Cage is saying you're way far out. When Slash from Guns N' Roses is your last line of defense, and Slash from Guns N' Roses in the 90s is like, yo, bro, you I can't mess with you. You're way the fuck out there. But all that being said, and there's so many great guests and stories in this documentary, the first voice you hear from is his 3.5 Men co-star, John Cryer. And I think it was so smart to have John Cryer in the beginning talking about his confliction about being a part of the film and not being a part of the film, and his concern with the fact that this documentary and where Charlie is at as of the documentary, I believe he's 8 years sober, and he's somehow, some way alive, dealing with the HIV and all the drug stuff. But he talks about his personal concerns that this is going to get him back on the straight and narrow. And historically, when Charlie Sheen is back on the straight and narrow, somehow, some way, he self-sabotages. But he decided to do it. and obviously, his brother Emilio Estevez, which people forget. Emilio Estevez is his brother, and Charlie um, Martin Sheen is his dad. And Martin Sheen was a
Hmm.
humongous star in the 70s and the 80s. Martin Sheen was the star of Apocalypse Now, so many other films, and that's his father. And just he also, Charlie Sheen, had access to an 8 millimeter camera, and he documented him and his brothers would make movies, and that's just such a gift when you're making a documentary film. Again, like if you've never made a documentary film, it's so freaking hard. Like Tribe Called Quest, when I was doing the Tribe movie, a lot of the footage and photographs and archives got burned in a fire in Q-Tip's house. So
I remember that.
that was like a big thing for him, obviously personally, but as far as documenting and archiving, his life, so much of it was lost. So it's just incredible that Charlie Sheen, and his brothers were shooting this home footage, and you're seeing Martin Sheen, you're seeing Sean Penn. They were shooting home videos
I
with
had no
George
idea
Clooney.
about that. That Sean, how far back him and Sean Penn went from like those Super 8 movies, and that adds such a fucking cool element to the documentary. And I also just thought like the parallels of him and his father and their choices of films like Apocalypse Now and Platoon. And I thought just using all of like the parallels of Charlie Sheen's movies to his real life, and like using the films throughout and like intercutting them with the movies, and also like sports being a huge part of it. Like the Michael Jordan stuff was so crazy, and
Did you
making
know
them.
that Michael Jordan story?
No, I had
I
no
never
idea.
seen it. I never seen that footage. I never heard that of that Mike those stories. Like, and I've watched
Yeah.
all of Michael Jordan documentaries. I've never seen him and his dad. And this is Michael Jordan. It had to be after his rookie year because he had all his hair.
Hmm.
Because like his first year is the only year he had all his hair, so it had to be after his rookie year. You never saw. I never saw this footage. It was like some charity, some like weird ABC Sports show.
1987.
Was it 87?
Yeah, 1987 for a three-part basketball contest. And oh my god, and like Martin Sheen making the fucking basket like half court, and Charlie Sheen being like there was something in the universe like higher than us, like a higher power that day. And I mean, you watch it and you're like, yeah, I mean, it really seems like that. I mean, it was. I love that shit. But
Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen beat Michael Jordan in a 2-on-1. Now, obviously, Michael Jordan, he could score 10 straight points on two people like Martin Sheen and Charlie Sheen, but somehow, some way, he underestimated that Tiger blood and that Sheen blood
yeah,
lineage, and they beat him in a 2-on-1, which I guarantee you, Michael Jordan, if he sees this documentary, he'll be like, I let those motherfuckers beat me, and this was videotaped. He's that competitive. But that was just the beginning of story after story after crazy story after crazy story. And his Ferris Bueller, I forgot that he was in Ferris Bueller.
oh
His
yeah,
story about being in Ferris Bueller and not even being
awesome.
on drugs, but just the self-sabotaging and just the bad luck, how his one day to shoot his one scene on Ferris Bueller, how he overslept
Yeah,
when Jennifer Grey, the actress, went out of her way to get him in the film. I mean, you're just like, first of all, how do you remember this after everything you've been through? And secondly, just like he's just crazy. And we forget how big of a star he was. But when you see him on camera, he just has that shit. He just
hmm,
has this magical thing, this charisma, these these eyes, that star making quality. And when you're watching the young footage and the home footage, you just like boom, you see it. And he was handsome. And he
oh
talks
yeah.
about I love when he talked about it. Out of all the reviews for Ferris Bueller, at the one review at the very end, he goes, "And Charlie Sheen is smoldering." Oh
Uh
yeah,
huh.
and he remembers that review and like what that different. But I understand like that's like I could really do this like because he didn't know what the fuck he was going to be. And then he did some low life, he did some low end B movie that I never heard of. And then his next role at 20 is Platoon, which wins Best Picture.
It's fucking crazy. And I mean, that's such an iconic movie. But yeah, you forget like all the movies this guy did. Now, I think they should have focused more. And they did on part one, but they should have focused more on his filmography. And like, I mean, he was a part of some fucking great films.
And
But
Major League was a
oh
humongous
yeah,
hit.
they didn't even talk about Major League.
I don't think they mentioned it. They showed clips a couple times,
That's
but I don't
it.
think the word Major League came up. And also the other film, the other baseball film that he was in, I mean, and Wall Street, I mean, they dipped into it a little bit. He talks about when he was making Platoon, how he signed a contract for Oliver Stone on a napkin to do
Hmm.
Wall Street while he was making Platoon, which is just so 1980s. You would never get away with doing. That's like some Suge Knight shit. That's like oh yeah, we signed
Yeah,
him to Death Row Records on a napkin while he was making Platoon, and just the stories about Nick Cage and the partying and the girls and when he got offered, or he not offered, he auditioned to be in the Karate Kid, and because he had
that was
committed to a
crazy.
crazy.
Like Martin Sheen, you could tell he had some animosity towards his father about that. With Martin Sheen being like, "You gave this other production your word. Like that's going to take you far in Hollywood. You can't do that, and you got to turn it down." And you could tell he had a lot of regret. But at the same time, like look at Ralph Macchio. It's like he didn't have those opportunities that Charlie Sheen had with the amazing roles that he selected. But he would have been super fucking rich. But at the same time, it's like then he did Two and a Half Men and became the wealthiest like TV star. Like no one had ever had a contract getting $2 million an episode. And that was the other thing with John Cryer, where it was like it was interesting to see his perspective. I think he compared him to Kim Jong Il or something, or like the set. Um, but he was also
Yeah.
like, yeah, but he was also like, I got a third of what Charlie Sheen made on Two and a Half Men. You could tell he's very bitter about it. But it's also like, dude, people weren't tuning in to watch John Cryer. Like it was Charlie Sheen's show. He was the famous guy. Everyone wanted to see Charlie Sheen. So that's how it works. I mean, it's like, we were talking about that. It's like Leonardo DiCaprio is going to get the $20 million paycheck versus whoever else is in this new movie that he's doing. But it's like he's selling the
Period.
movie. Yeah.
Period.
I mean,
And the great, I mean, one of the great actors of our time, Benicio del Toro, he's not going to get as much as Leonardo DiCaprio, nor would he think or expect to get as much as Leonardo James, Steph
right.
Curry. Like he's going to make more money. It doesn't.
Yeah.
There's not no equal pay, equal rights, or all that stuff. It's business. But I just thought it was awesome. I thought it was great, and we can't recommend that documentary any higher. I mean, Denise Richards is so transparent. I mean, the documentary spans his entire fucking life. It's
I thought
crazy.
Denise seemed like she was on fucking drugs to me. She seemed like she was on drugs. His other
Allegedly.
I'm not. That's why I said she seemed like it. I'm not putting it out there, but at the same time, his other ex-wife seemed like she was taking a little something. But part one was excellent. Part two was great. But when you get to the fucking winning segment, I was watching that like, it was just so exploitive at the time, and like how the media ran with that, and just all the people around. I mean, he didn't have anybody good around him. I mean, yeah, there was the black guy, Tony Todd, who was, like one of his childhood friends or whatever, he was there during all that stuff, but no, and it was sad. It was sad to see Charlie Sheen be like, I wish someone during that time was kind of like, hey man, don't do this. Like, this is fucked. But instead you had all these leeches. I mean, even Chuck Lorre, where they were all like, I suppressed all this shit, but it was kind of like we were just moving forward and people encouraging doing this, world tour. And I mean, the guy was, I was young when that came out. I was 20 or 21, but you look back on it and it's just like, it is funny to see like the shit that he was saying, but at the same time, it's dark. It's really dark and really sad. And the guy was on so many drugs, and they just, he was like a fucking monkey. He was like a circus monkey to these people. But it felt like watching a movie. I was like, oh my god, this is like a movie. Like this is crazy. That it just was crazy.
It was crazy, and also it was crazy because at the time, social media wasn't what it is today. So when Charlie Sheen was doing these interviews, he was doing interviews on ABC or NBC, and then he's doing some interview with Alex Jones. Like it wasn't like now where you could pick up your phone and go online. Twitter, I wasn't
Yeah,
even on Twitter at the time, and like that was sort of the last sort of line of TV virability. Like he went
yeah.
viral, on television, and it was just crazy. And obviously, I don't think anybody knew the extent of the drug use. You knew something was going on. You couldn't tell if he was drunk or high or whatever. You knew he was
But it
out of
was
his.
but the thing that I didn't realize now watching it was like, yeah, I mean, clearly anyone with a fucking mind could see that this guy is like on serious drugs. That wasn't just his wacky personality. Like you watch that now, you're like, this guy is on like fucking crack or meth or something. But the thing that I didn't realize was the testosterone.
Right.
That were and they said, because I got my testosterone levels checked recently, and high is 700 or whatever, right? Like it's some 0 to 700, and like 700-800 is high testosterone, and you don't want to go past that. He was taking that testosterone where he said he was in like 5,000 range or whatever, so he just had that like fucking primal like rage. I don't know what was going on, but I mean he was on all sorts of shit. But I was surprised that like adults weren't like, dude, you need to get help. I mean, even Todd Phillips, it was like watching Todd Phillips be like, they were all encouraging it. They were all like really encouraging it, and it was sad. It was sad to watch, and you could tell he's like, I can't watch it. It's excruciating. I mean, oh my god, I just can't imagine. I mean, I just can't imagine how embarrassing that would be to
Yeah, I mean,
relive
he's
that.
been through the ringer. Question, because I have my answer, because I thought about this morning. If another person, because the Sylvester Stallone documentary on Netflix, awesome. The Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary on
That was
Netflix,
good.
awesome. The Martha Stewart documentary on
Great.
Netflix, awesome. If you were going to pick, or you thought another person that can make another compelling two-camera confessional, this is my life documentary, who would you choose? I have an answer.
Fuck, that's a really good question. I mean, honestly, the first person that comes to my head after watching this documentary, what an enigma he is Nicolas Cage. I would love to see the Nick Cage doc. I mean, it's still too early, I think. He's still in it. I mean, he's still making incredible choices, and he's had this resurgence. There was a period of time where he was kind of the butt of the joke, with like his choices and just, doing terrible movies for paychecks, but he's making some really interesting choices and still killing it. So I would eventually like to see the Nicolas Cage documentary. Who do you have in your mind?
I would love to see on Netflix the Bobby Brown documentary.
I'm going to get crucified here.
The fact
Who's
that Bobby Brown, what did you say?
I said I'm going to probably get crucified here, but who's Bobby Brown? Is that in relation to James Brown? Is that James Brown's brother? Who is Bobby Brown? That could be the title of the Netflix documentary for people like me. We don't know. Who is Bobby Brown? It's like searching for Sugarman.
I gotta blame myself at a certain point. Because at a certain point I gotta go, well, you brought him on the podcast. So I gotta say, I can't blame him. I gotta blame myself because I'm the one who brought him on.
Is it a generational thing? Is it because I'm 35?
No, it's not a generational thing. And I'm gonna post this on Instagram with you saying, who is Bobby Brown?
The only stupid questions are the ones that you don't ask.
I get it. I'm talking to a man who in 2025 still refuses to watch Rocky. That's who I'm talking to.
I saw it. I saw Rocky.
You didn't. You didn't. You saw Creed, fucker. You still haven't seen Rocky.
I saw Rocky, man. Adrian. What? I remember Adrian. I know, and I now know that Adrian's
Rocky, motherfucker.
I know Adrian's a girl now, motherfucker. I know that. It took me a long time to figure that out, but I figured it out eventually. Fuck. I mean, it's like shit.
Own self. If I had my choice, if I could direct a documentary, Netflix style, face the camera with someone telling their story, I would 500% want to direct a documentary about Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown, who of course is one of the founding members of New Edition, went solo, went crazy solo, had crazy drug issues. Obviously, he had his relationship with Whitney Houston, which was documented on a reality TV show, which was insane. He's been through the ringer. Somehow, some way, he's still standing. And I guarantee you a 2-part, 3-hour documentary about Bobby Brown and Bobby Brown telling his story, if you have access to all the footage, all the music and all that stuff, will be just as compelling, if not more compelling and crazy as the Charlie Sheen documentary. So that's the documentary that I would love to see. And I would highly urge Dean when we end this podcast to just look up Google and just get a little bit information about Bobby Brown.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he looks
It's not a
familiar.
generational thing. Don't
I
blame
think
it
it
on the
is.
No,
I
it's
think it
not
is
a
because even New Edition, brother, I can't name one song. I know that you were in the movie, and I think it's great that you played the manager in the movie. I don't know a New Edition. I think that's like 40s plus. That's just me as like kind of a middle-aged millennial. I'm not the elder millennial, but I don't think that's really targeted towards me. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know what it is, but I don't know New Edition. I don't know that group. And no disrespect to that group. I'm sure they're fantastic. I think it's great that you were their manager. I don't know that group. But my question to you is when you're watching the Charlie Sheen doc and you're watching the Billy Joel doc and you're watching these documentaries as a documentary filmmaker,
I'm sorry.
director.
Good question. Just rephrase that. As an award-winning documentary
Sorry.
filmmaker, director. Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Yes, when you're watching these documentaries as an award-winning documentary filmmaker, director,
Yeah.
are you watching it with that perspective going, oh, they got the Super 8 footage. Oh, they're intersplicing scenes from his filmography that kind of do, call and response to his real life. That element is so good. That's what, like, are you watching that as a director? Or are you watching that as a fan? Or are you watching that as
I'm
both?
watching. I'm 100% aware of the filmmaking of the Charlie Sheen documentary, and I was aware of how great it was from the beginning. And I'm conscious of all that. I'm impressed by all that. I understand the undertaking and the mountain that you have to climb when you're telling a story that spans 30 years and is so chaotic and crazy like the Charlie Sheen documentary. So that's a great question. It's great that you asked me, who is an award-winning a
Yeah.
documentary filmmaker, that question, because that is a fact. Two times, two
Yeah.
awards. I'm 2 for 2 with the awards. Two full-length films. 2 times I was
Emmy
awarded.
Awards? Are we talking? I know it's not the Oscars, but eventually
I
we'll
won
get
an
there.
Emmy Award for my 30 for 30 When the Garden Was Eaten documentary about the Knicks, When the Garden Was Eaten. And I won a Producers Guild Award, which is like this close to being an Oscar for Beats, Rhymes, and Life, the travels of A Tribe Called Quest. And I won that award at the night that I won that award. Everybody, the Producers Guild Awards are no joke. Spielberg was there. Brad Pitt was there. They
Yeah.
were all there. I
That
just couldn't believe that we won because I was tripping because it was so hard to put together Beats, Rhymes, and Life. So that's why when I see this Charlie Sheen documentary or any of these great documentaries, I was talking about that Jerry Jones, the gambler and his Cowboys documentary on Netflix. These are not easy things to make. So I'm super duper impressed as an award-winning filmmaker about these other potential award-winning documentaries. Great question.
I think Beats Rhymes in Life could have gone further in terms of the award circuit because that to me that is definitely to me your best documentary. I was fortunate enough to work on When the Garden Was Eaten and the Juliette Lewis Hard Loving Woman documentary, and I had an opportunity to work on Beats Rhymes in Life when I was 20, and I had just gotten back from a trip from Europe with my family, and at the time I had a friend who was pretty controlling and I didn't really have the will to kind of stand up for myself at the time to kind of say, hey man, this is too much. Like I'm doing me and back off a little bit. And at the time, I was sort of controlled at this moment. And there was a moment where you had said, do you want to come shoot some B-roll or not even B-roll, do like B-cam at this performance that they're doing in LA. I don't know where it was, but Leonardo DiCaprio was backstage. Everyone was backstage, and I had an opportunity to shoot it and get credited on it, and I flubbed it. And I kick myself years and years later that I missed that opportunity. So that's another lesson for people who are listening. If a fucking opportunity falls in your lap or someone says, hey, can you be here at this time? Don't overthink it. Don't get your priorities in check and strike while the iron's hot. And because that would have been a fucking epic thing to witness too, because that documentary is fantastic. And do you have another documentary that's in the pipeline that you want to do? Because I do think that we need to get you back to directing something.
Well, I am working on something. I'm in the early stages of working on a documentary. It's too early to announce because it's not over the mountaintop yet. But yes, I would love to make another documentary. Like I said, I'd love to do the documentary about Bobby Brown for Netflix. I
Yeah.
would love that.
No
I
one's
would
doing it. Why
love
not? Why not?
to.
You know.
I'm gonna sniff around about that. Yeah. I mean, they're just challenging. The one thing about documentary filming is you can't be half into it because they're
Yeah.
too challenging. They're too time consuming to be halfway into. You got to be all the way in the deep end of the cold water of the documentary pool that you're considering doing. Anyway, this was a super positive I Am Rapaport
We're
Stereo
done.
podcast.
We're ending.
I mean, listen, we could keep going on, but I say we get out while the going is good. I say we get out while everybody's still positive. I say we get out while there's no more, I don't want to say anything and you go,
Okay.
huh? I
Okay.
want to protect me. I want to protect you. And I want to get out of here, while we're still feeling real good, real nice, real safe, and
Can
real
I
sane.
suggest something? On the way out, can I just suggest a movie? Can I recommend a movie that I watched that I just want to say this because I haven't seen a movie. It's been months and months. I have not been on my movie game in terms of theater movies. I went to go see The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson. Movie was fucking hilarious. Have not seen a movie like this in the past over 15 years. This movie held up to a mid 2000s funny ass comedy. I was dying of laughter.
Really?
Liam Neeson killed it. Nobody will touch what Leslie Nielsen has done with those movies. Obviously, one of a kind. He's incredible. But if you're just looking for a laugh with all the fucking shit going on in the world right now, I highly recommend watching The Naked Gun. It is so
right.
dumb, but so fucking funny.
That's a great recommendation. I didn't even know you saw it. I'm glad you went to see it and shared that. That's totally a great recommendation. And
Okay.
everybody needs to see things that are light and enjoy themselves right now because, as we all know, we are in an insane time. Anyway, fantastic podcast by the young shooter. They call him Dino Pacino. They call him Deuce Collins. Some people call him the young Dean. Some people call him Deuce Cuddles. There's a lot of nicknames. We know him as Dean Collins, aka, and happy 20th anniversary on the premiere of The War at Home.
Someone sent me that too. That also kind of like made me feel my age, where I'm like, wow.
Yeah, you're 35.
Yeah, I'm 35, and I'm like we talk about all the time. I'm the same age as when you played my father in the show, and 20 years ago. Yeah, I know I'm 35. That's not. I know you're pointing at me like that's a bad thing, but I'm still in my. I think I'm still in my prime. I think there's still years left in me to do some great things, and I'm excited about 35, and I'm excited, but I am nervous that I'm pushing 40. But yes, 20 years since The War at Home premiered, and that is that's a crazy thing.
Insane. Anyway, I Am Rapaport Stereo Podcast. We're done.
I Am Rapaport Podcast.